Your mother, from heaven, has been reaching out since yesterday. She is trying to deliver a message. Do not ignore. Archangel Michael is helping you, and finally you are watching this video. There is something stirring in the atmosphere around you. Something silent yet undeniable. If you've been feeling strange chills, hearing soft whispers when no one is near, or waking up at odd hours with tears in your eyes, it's not your imagination, it's her. Since yesterday, your mother, from the realm beyond, has been reaching out with divine urgency. She is not coming with fear. She is coming with a message wrapped in love, healing, and cosmic instruction. But time is not a luxury you have. Her voice has moved through veils to find you. Do not silence her by staying distracted. The heavens are not silent tonight. The clouds may look still, but Archangel Michael is already in motion, guarding you as your mother's voice tries to find its way to your heart. She has battled through layers of spiritual resistance just to be heard. Why? Because this message could change everything. It may be the difference between continuing a painful cycle or stepping into generational healing. You need to listen, not with your ears, but with the deepest part of your soul. Something sacred has begun, and it began yesterday. Michael stands behind this moment with his sword drawn, not in rage, but in protection. He is your warrior, your divine defense, the one who clears the path when your soul is too tired to walk it alone. He heard your mother's call. He has chosen to deliver it with her. You are not alone, and you have not been abandoned. In fact, you've been watched, shielded, and prayed for. Her prayers are still echoing in the spirit realm, and they are moving toward you like a flood that cannot be stopped. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3636. This is not just about comfort. This is not nostalgia. This is instruction from beyond the veil. She has come with guidance that can only be understood by someone spiritually awake. You may think your life has been random lately. Misplaced keys, sudden phone calls, déjà vu moments. None of it is random. Every detail has been orchestrated to make sure you would see this message. And now you have. Now the choice is yours. You are not broken. You're being guided. You are not forgotten. You are being summoned. You are not lost. You are being realigned. Her presence is more than memory today. Her presence is prophecy. Archangel Michael is ensuring that no interference will stop this message from reaching you. But you must do your part. You must be still. You must be open. You must watch until the very end. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. You felt the pull, haven't you? That sudden ache in your chest that has no medical name, only spiritual weight. The kind that comes without warning, yet lingers for hours. That was her, your mother, pressing her essence against the edges of your awareness. Yesterday, when your mind wandered to her with no reason, that wasn't memory, that was contact. Heaven's dimension brushed against yours, hoping you'd pause long enough to feel it. Her soul is not at rest because yours isn't. She's not haunting you. She's holding you. And now Archangel Michael has stepped forward. Not because you're weak, but because your soul is under siege. There are forces trying to drown her message in noise. Distractions, doubts, deadlines. He's drawing his blade not against you, but for you. He's slashing through the static, the invisible fog that's made it hard for you to dream clearly, pray boldly, or hope deeply. He knows how long you've been surviving when you were called to live. That's why he's here, because something is about to be unlocked, and you must be ready. Your mother is not warning you of death. She is revealing life, not just survival, but restoration. She has seen what's ahead. She sees where your heart has been manipulated, where trust has been broken, where your spirit has grown silent. That silence is what she can no longer bear. She speaks now, because you're close to a moment that will either shift your life or shatter it. That's not a threat. It's a divine crossroads. And only those who pay attention to these moments rise above the cycles that trap others. Type I am chosen to get the blessing 1214. Last night, you dreamed something you didn't understand. There was a face, a door, a light. You dismissed it as random. But nothing in the spirit is random. That door was symbolic. It is the doorway she's been trying to lead you through. Behind it is clarity. On a decision you've delayed, a move you feared, a truth you've refused to see. You were meant to walk through it, but fear made you sit at its threshold. That fear was never yours. It was inherited. But today, Michael breaks that chain. Your mother whispered through that dream because the voice of the living could no longer reach you. She knew only divine language could stir your soul, and so she sent the dream. She hovered beside your bed, hoping your spirit would rise above logic and remember her frequency. She is not gone. She is elevated, and from that elevation, she has seen what you can no longer ignore. Your calling is overdue. Your light has been hidden under obligation and guilt. But she's not ashamed of you. She's waiting on you. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. This is your season of reversal. And she came to say it aloud. You were not born to carry everyone else's burdens. You were born to break patterns, bless bloodlines, and rise above emotional exhaustion. That fatigue you've been battling, it's not just physical, it's generational. But Archangel Michael is holding your spine upright today. You will not fall into despair. You will not let your compassion be weaponized against you again. Your mother has cried in the spirit because she sees how much of your light you've dimmed for others. Let the tears come if they need to. Let your soul speak without filters. This moment is not a broadcast. It's a visitation. She isn't concerned with how composed you look. She's focused on whether your spirit is finally ready to receive what she has carried through eternity. Her voice was once silenced by mortality. Now it roars through eternity with clarity. She needs you to remember what you promised before you were born. There's something sacred in your spirit that has been asleep. But tonight, she is shaking it awake. Type I am awakened to get the blessing 7878. There are conversations she still remembers. Your cries in the dark when you thought no one was listening. She never stopped listening. Not even after she left the earth. What you whispered in grief, confusion, shame, or exhaustion was never lost in the air. It was collected in the folds of eternity. Your mother has carried those words like sacred offerings. Yesterday, the veil between your world and hers thinned, and she moved. She didn't wait for a perfect moment. She waited for an open one. And now, the divine window is here. You've been questioning your direction lately, feeling the pressure of choices, the tension of time slipping. Your instincts have sharpened, but so has your doubt. That battle in your mind is not yours alone. That inner storm, your mother saw it forming. That's why she's been pacing the edge of the spiritual realm, waiting for the right signal to break through. Archangel Michael saw her grief, not the grief of a ghost, but the grief of a guardian, and he gave her permission. She is now here, speaking in frequencies your soul can hear if you silence everything else. You must understand, this isn't just about comfort. It's not about missing her. It's about aligning with her final mission. Before she passed, she held dreams for you she never had time to say aloud. But heaven recorded them. Her desire wasn't just for your survival, but your spiritual rising. The pain you've endured is not punishment. It's preparation. And now the preparation is complete. The season of shaking is ending. The season of rising is beginning. That's why she had to interrupt your routine. Because your purpose can no longer afford delay. Type I am called to get the blessing 4444. When you felt chills while reading that message, that was confirmation. When a sudden warmth passed over your shoulder, that wasn't coincidence. That was her hand brushing you in the spirit. Her signature. Subtle, but divine. You have wondered if signs are real. You have begged for proof. The problem is, signs rarely scream. They whisper, just like she used to. Her love was quiet but consistent. Her strength was soft but unbreakable. And now, through Michael's guidance, she is asking you to be that same kind of strength. Quietly powerful, divinely anchored. This next chapter of your life requires your full attention. Not just for your benefit, but because someone in your bloodline needs the version of you that obeys heaven. Your children, your siblings, a niece, a friend. They will be changed, not by your words, but by your walk. And that's why she's pressing now, because you are being called, not just to live, but to lead. And leadership in the spirit realm begins with obedience, not applause. You don't need a crowd. You need clarity. And that clarity is falling like rain right now. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. She doesn't want you to chase what the world defines as success. She wants you to awaken to the light you forgot you had. There was a time you dreamed with fire. Where did that fire go? She saw it dim the moment someone told you your voice was too much, that your love was too intense, that your emotions were weakness. But she's here now to restore the truth. Your sensitivity is your power. Your discernment is your gift. And your heart, though broken, is still sacred ground. There is someone watching you right now, waiting to see if you'll believe in yourself again. Not a stranger, but a generational witness. Someone who can't rise until you do. You're not just living your story. You're breaking invisible agreements made in your bloodline. Agreements of fear, of silence, of settling. Your mother saw it. She saw how long you've been trying to be everything for everyone and still feeling unseen. So she reached down, not to pity you, but to pull you up. Today is the day your soul takes its first deep breath again. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for regular prophetic guidance, deep spiritual insight, and powerful words that keep you aligned with heaven's rhythm. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. You didn't come across this message by accident. Heaven timed it. The moment your heart grew restless, the divine realm opened a spiritual portal to reach you. Your mother, who watches you, not with eyes but with eternal sight, saw the very moment your strength began to fade. She didn't just feel your pain. She stood in it with you, even from beyond. What you thought was loneliness was actually sacred companionship. Her presence lingers in rooms you thought were empty. Her love echoes in silence. Her spirit guards your steps. Archangel Michael doesn't intervene lightly. His presence means your life has spiritual weight. It means the direction of your soul carries impact beyond what you can see. That's why this message is so heavy. It's not just about the now, it's about the legacy you're building. And legacy begins in quiet obedience. Your mother saw your heart breaking quietly behind a brave face. She saw your shoulders carry pain that had no name. That's when she cried out, and heaven answered. Not to rescue you from pain, but to awaken you through it. There's something sacred about pain when it's translated through love. That's what your mother is doing now. Turning your bruises into blueprints, your detours into direction, your silence into strategy. You were not abandoned. You were being prepared. And now, the preparation must give way to action. She didn't fight through the veil just to comfort you. She came to commission you. The calling is real. The signal is strong. and her time to reach you is short. That's why you must respond now. Type I am chosen to get the blessing 2323. Yesterday, there was a moment when you paused, unsure why your chest tightened. That wasn't anxiety. That was her. That was the moment she tried to enter your awareness. But the noise of the world is loud, and heaven rarely shouts. So she waited for a moment like this, where you'd finally be still, because stillness is the language of the spirit. That's when angels move, and that's when mothers speak from realms unseen. Today, your stillness has pulled down a word that could rewrite your season. Your past was not a mistake. It was a map. She knows what it took for you to survive. The people you forgave without apology. The parts of yourself you silenced to make others comfortable. She watched it all, and though she couldn't interfere before, now she can. Michael has cleared the spiritual air. The fog that confused you is lifting. You're about to see clearly again. Not just others, but yourself. And when you do, you'll realize this message isn't just comfort. It's instruction. Her message is clear. It's time to rise without apology. Type I restored to get the blessing 8 verse 1181. This next season of your life won't require more effort. It will require more alignment, more trust, more obedience to the whisper, not the scream. Your mother isn't showing you the loud road. She's pointing to the sacred one, the one paved with integrity, peace, and divine timing. You've been tempted to run, to force, to push. But now, the message is clear. Stop striving and start aligning. Stop proving and start trusting. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You just need to remember it. You are surrounded by more than you see. Divine hands are moving things behind the scenes. The delay you thought was punishment was actually protection. That loss you grieved was a divine reroute. Your mother saw the trap and cried out to heaven. That's why it closed. You didn't lose the opportunity. You were saved from the destruction it carried. Archangel Michael moved swiftly. And now, they are both asking, will you trust what didn't make sense yesterday if it leads to peace tomorrow? Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. There's a reason you're still standing. Not everyone who went through what you did made it out with their heart intact. And while others only see your surface, your mother sees the scars beneath. The silent screams, the weary faith, the invisible battles. She saw every time you gave when you had nothing left. Every time you smiled while carrying pain. And because she sees what others can't, she intervened. She spoke your name in heaven's chambers, and heaven responded. You weren't overlooked. You were chosen for divine visitation. Archangel Michael did not just arrive beside you. He descended with purpose. There are specific things around you right now, relationships, decisions, cycles, that heaven is no longer allowing to go unaddressed. And so your mother came not as a memory, but as a messenger. She is not here to relive the past. She's here to recalibrate your future. There's something she knows that you don't yet see, and what she's seen has moved her with urgency. She's not whispering, she's declaring. Her voice rides on the frequency of divine clarity. What's coming next for you requires your full agreement with heaven. No more half-belief, no more doubt clothed in logic. No more giving everyone access to a version of you they haven't earned. Your mother is reminding you of who you were before the world reshaped you. She remembers the dreamer, the believer, the fighter who still looked up even when everything collapsed. She's reminding you that the version of you who believed is not dead, just dormant. But today that part awakens, because her message is not optional, it's critical. Type I am awakened to get the blessing 5656. You spent too long shrinking, making yourself smaller so others could feel bigger, dimming your intuition because others called it too much. But heaven didn't give you discernment to be polite. It gave you that sensitivity as armor. And now your mother is asking you to wear it without shame. That warning you felt before things went wrong, that was her, nudging your spirit. That dream you had before the storm came, that was Michael, guarding your timeline. What you thought were gut feelings were actually angelic alerts. There is something about your presence that stirs spiritual atmosphere. You may not see it, but your enemies have. That's why resistance has been so fierce. You're not under attack because you're weak. You're under attack because you're essential. Your voice carries vibration. Your story carries power. And your very survival is a testimony your mother refuses to let go unspoken. She saw what tried to break you, but she also sees what's trying to be birthed through you. And she's fighting in the heavens for that birth to happen. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. Do not ignore the dreams anymore. They aren't fiction. They're forecasts. She has been speaking to you in symbols, signs, and sensations. Because words are limited, but spirit isn't. The coin you found, the light that flickered, the scent of her perfume. These are not coincidences. They are coordinates. Breadcrumbs to guide your spirit back to alignment. You've been surrounded by answers you didn't recognize. And now, Michael is amplifying them. Your eyes are about to see what your heart already knows. Heaven is speaking, and you are finally ready to hear. She is not asking you to be perfect. She's asking you to be present. Present to the signs. Present to your healing. Present to the divine conversation happening all around you. There is a shift coming. Not months from now, but days. It's already forming in the unseen, and it requires you to walk in truth, not trauma. That means shedding old patterns, leaving behind what no longer feeds your soul, choosing purpose over comfort, and embracing faith, even when fear feels louder. This is the activation of your next era. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. There is a stirring in the spiritual realm that cannot be undone. Your name has been spoken too many times in sacred places for you to remain hidden. The heavens have convened, and your mother's voice has pierced through dimensions on your behalf. She is not watching from a distance. She is working from a realm beyond comprehension. And Michael is her shield, her strength, and her assurance that the message she carries for you will be delivered in full. This is a divine appointment, one your spirit scheduled before you were born. She is reminding you of something your soul forgot in the chaos. Your authority. Not worldly power, but spiritual authority. The ability to walk into a space and shift the atmosphere with your presence alone. The kind of power that turns chaos into calm, doubt into clarity, fear into fire. She saw it in you, even as a child, before life taught you to second-guess yourself, before betrayal made you question your worth. And now, she's returning to reignite what grief, trauma, and time have tried to bury. Archangel Michael is not simply standing beside you. He's blocking darts you don't even see, while you wrestle with self-doubt. He's silencing accusations hurled in the spirit. You are not weak. You are under reconstruction. Every delay has been strategy. Every disappointment was a course correction. Heaven didn't forget you, it preserved you. Your mother knew you wouldn't understand until now. That's why she asked for divine permission to reach you again. And now that she has, nothing will go back to what it was. Because the veil has been lifted. Type I am shifting to get the blessing 8 verse 1484. Your dreams are not random. They are maps. She's been placing symbols in your sleep that mirror your waking confusion. A key, a hallway, a voice calling you by name. They are not metaphors. They are messages. You are walking through a spiritual corridor right now, and the doors you open next will determine not just your future, but the alignment of your bloodline. You are the hinge, the pivot point, the divine thread tying old pain to future glory. That's why her presence is persistent. She cannot rest until you rise. You've been doubting yourself in silence, waiting for someone else to validate what your soul already knows. But she's here to confirm it. Yes, you're hearing correctly. Yes, that feeling was divine. Yes, the reason you keep being drawn to this moment is because it is sacred. She is not appearing in your life to stir sadness. She's here to activate purpose. Your softness, your empathy, your vision. They are not liabilities. They are weapons. And Michael is sharpening them even now. You are about to war with light, not bitterness. Type I am chosen to get the blessing 1214. She watches the way you love people who don't see you. She knows the weight of what you carry in silence. You inherited her heart. And that is not a burden. It is a mantle. That's why she comes with compassion, not condemnation. She knows you've been exhausted. She knows the fatigue isn't just from work. It's from caring deeply in a world that rewards detachment. But she reminds you, your care is not wasted. It's sacred. And it's needed now more than ever. That heart of yours is about to be used in a higher realm. What your mother brings now is not just healing, but instruction. The next steps in your life require supernatural sensitivity. The business idea that's been lingering, the decision you've avoided, the conversation you feared, they are all aligned to this divine download. But you must listen deeper. You must trust the invisible more than the obvious. Michael is not leading you with logic. He is leading you with divine precision. And your mother is speaking confirmation every step of the way. She's your signal. Michael is your covering. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. There are moments in life when time bends and eternity leans close. You are in one of those moments right now. That's why everything feels more intense. Why your emotions are heightened, your dreams more vivid, your energy more fragile. It's because heaven is speaking, and your mother is standing at the edge of divine timing, urging you not to miss this window. It is sacred, it is personal, and it is precise. You were never meant to walk blindly. That's why Michael is illuminating the path, even in the dark. Your mother sees what's ahead. She knows there's an opportunity approaching disguised as a disruption, and she wants you prepared, not scared. She knows your pattern, how you tend to retreat when life gets loud, how you second-guess yourself when the stakes rise. That's why she is whispering reminders into your spirit, that you are not alone, that you were built for this, that the fear you feel is only confirmation that the next level is near, and that Michael is already at the gate, sword drawn, ready to clear the way. You are walking into a territory where discernment will matter more than ever. Not everyone who smiles is safe. Not every open door leads to destiny. Your mother knows this. That's why she has been gently pulling you back from certain people, situations, and choices. The detachment you're feeling from old connections is not you being cold. It's heaven drawing boundaries. She cried over some of the people you cried for. But unlike you, she could see what they were doing behind closed doors. And now she asks, will you trust her wisdom, even if it hurts? Type I am guarded to get the blessing 9191. You are shifting from survivor to spiritual strategist. That means your intuition must be louder than your insecurity. Your alignment must speak louder than your need for approval. You don't owe anyone an explanation for walking in your truth. Your mother didn't come this far from eternity just to see you shrink. She came because she sees what's about to be born through you. A purpose, a project, a divine assignment. And she is urging you to guard it. Some things are too holy to be explained prematurely. Some dreams must be protected in silence. You've been holding a vision you were afraid to share. You questioned whether it was even real. But here's the truth. It's more than real. It's necessary. Your mother has seen the ripple effect of what will happen once you act on it. The lives that will be touched. The cycles that will be broken. The healing that will start with your yes. and Michael is already placing divine appointments along your path. People you haven't met yet, but who are waiting for the version of you that shows up in full obedience. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. This isn't about being ready. This is about being willing. Willing to step even if your voice shakes. Willing to obey, even when clarity hasn't caught up. Willing to honor your mother's message. Not with words, but with motion. She is not looking for you to be perfect. She's waiting for you to say yes. Because once you do, the heavens will respond. The timing will align. The resources will appear. That feeling you've carried lately, that something is coming, that's not anxiety. That's prophetic tension. The future is pressing against your present. Do not mistake divine delay for denial. What hasn't happened yet is not rejection. It's preparation. And your mother has been covering the parts of your story that almost broke you. The betrayal, the abandonment, the burnout. She didn't stop it all from happening, but she made sure it didn't destroy you. And now she's asking, will you let what didn't kill you become the reason you rise? Will you allow this next chapter to be written, not from your wounds, but from your wisdom? Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. Your mother doesn't want you to live from memory. She wants you to live from movement. Too often, you've been stuck looking backward, replaying what you lost, rethinking what you should have said, what you should have done. But her message is not anchored in regret. It's infused with momentum. She is not calling you to mourn her. She's calling you to move with her. Her voice is not a shadow. It's a light. And today, that light is guiding you out of the valley you've grown far too comfortable in. She sees that the healing you've started is only partial. You've forgiven others, but you've held guilt against yourself. The nights you cried alone, the moments you silenced your truth just to keep the peace. She was watching, and now she brings this message. Stop punishing yourself for the choices you made while you were trying to survive. She saw you hold it all together for everyone. But now it's time to stop managing and start transforming. You don't owe anyone your silence anymore. What you carry is holy, and it needs space to rise. Archangel Michael has already cleared the spiritual air. The heaviness that's been clouding your thoughts, the confusion, the hesitation, it's lifting. Not by accident, but by divine design. There is clarity descending upon you now like rain. Your spirit is about to feel lighter, not because the battle ended, but because the burden has shifted. What you once carried alone is now surrounded by angelic protection. She has asked heaven for this very moment, that you would awaken fully to who you are and walk boldly into what's next. Type I am aligned to get the blessing 5252. What your mother is asking now is simple, but sacred. Pay attention to the signs, to the timing, to the new people entering your life. You've been asking heaven to speak, and now it is. But it will not come through thunder. It will come through patterns, repeating numbers, dreams that linger, random confirmations through strangers, unexpected pauses that protect you from unseen chaos. She is helping to arrange every one of these, not to confuse you, but to confirm that you are on the edge of something eternal. You are about to be trusted with more. That's why this message had to reach you, because before expansion comes refinement. Your mother is here to remind you of your roots, so you can handle the weight of your wings. You are not starting from scratch. You are rising from strength. Her prayers, her unspoken wishes for your future. This is not your burden alone. She has fought for you in realms unseen, and now she walks with you into the reality she dreamed you'd one day carry. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. There are things you have been sensing that make no logical sense. Shifts in energy, sudden urges to disconnect, unexplainable grief. They are not madness. They are messages. You are spiritually sensitive because you were born to navigate what others ignore. And now, that gift is being fully activated. What once overwhelmed you will now empower you. What once made you feel different will now define your calling. Your mother was chosen to deliver this activation, and Michael was assigned to protect it. This next stretch of your journey will not look like what you've known. The people, the pace, the priorities, they're changing. You've outgrown spaces that were never meant to contain the full version of you. And she's asking you to stop apologizing for that growth. Heaven is not calling you to comfort. It's calling you to purpose. And that purpose will require your voice, your courage, your truth. She has done her part. Now she waits to see if you will do yours. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for regular prophetic guidance, deep spiritual insight, and powerful words that keep you aligned with heaven's rhythm. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. Your mother knows the cycles you've tried to break, the emotional patterns passed down like invisible heirlooms. She knows the struggle wasn't just yours, it was in the blood. And yet, here you are, the one chosen to interrupt what has been allowed to live too long. That's why this moment is heavy. That's why her message is urgent. She didn't just bring comfort. She brought a command. You are the breaker, the one who ends the silence, the settling, the smallness. And Archangel Michael is watching closely, because your obedience activates protection. There are generational chains she couldn't destroy in her lifetime, but she left the blueprint in your spirit. When you felt confused about who you are, when you've doubted your strength, when you've wondered why your sensitivity feels like both a blessing and a burden, it's because she encoded you with spiritual keys. You're not broken. You're born with sacred instruction. Your triggers are connected to your mission. Your pain is not a flaw. It's a compass. She saw how the world tried to harden you, and now she's helping you soften without losing power. You've walked through doors no one knew you were afraid to open. You've carried weights no one offered to lift. But she saw the day you almost gave up, the night you stared at the ceiling and wondered if this life had meaning. And that's why she came back. Because it does. Your life is not an accident. Your purpose is not an illusion. And your next move is not random. Michael is rearranging timelines right now, and your name is on the scroll. Heaven has called a meeting about your future. Type I am chosen to get the blessing 1414. You will feel a release over the next few days. Not a loud moment, but a holy one. Like something that has clung to you for years suddenly letting go. A weight falling off your shoulders. A fog lifting from your spirit. This is not imagined. It's inherited. Your mother prayed for this release. She didn't want you to carry what crushed her. She saw how guilt haunted your decisions, how fear wrapped around your opportunities. But now, a divine shift is being written in your favor, and you will walk in peace again. Peace, not as a reward for survival, but as your new atmosphere. You've lived in survival mode for too long, always looking over your shoulder, always waiting for the next heartbreak. But that is not your home anymore. Your mother is repositioning your spirit, from scarcity to sufficiency, from fear to faith, from damage to destiny. She speaks to you now not from sorrow, but from strength. And she brings a message. You are no longer who you were in the fire. You are who you became after surviving it. Type I am free to get the blessing 6262. The reason this message found you at this time is no accident. The convergence of spiritual forces, your internal unrest, The dreams, the numbers, the divine nudges, they all led here, because this is your divine hour, the moment where what was once mystical becomes manifest. You will begin to notice divine alignment in small ways. Appointments rescheduling themselves to protect your energy, doors closing to reroute you, sudden clarity in moments that once confused you. That's your mother. That's Michael. That's movement from heaven. This part of your journey cannot be rushed. And your mother reminds you, do not measure your timing by someone else's path. You were never meant to walk in anyone's shadow. You carry a light of your own. And when you step fully into it, those who once ignored you will look again. Not because you sought attention, but because divine presence commands respect. And that presence has already begun resting on you. It's not coming, it's here. And it's time you started walking like it. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. There are places you've walked through spiritually that others wouldn't have survived. Your strength hasn't just come from resilience. It came from intercession. Your mother was praying even when her lips were still. She saw the spiritual tides rising long before they hit your shore. And now she returns, not to mourn what was lost, but to anchor what is next. This is not about memory. This is about movement. She is here because you're stepping into terrain that requires a reminder of who you really are, not who you had to become to survive. You've learned how to endure. You've learned how to keep quiet, how to keep peace, how to put others first. But now, your mother is asking you to unlearn what hurt you, to dismantle the habits born from fear and replace them with holy conviction. You are not being selfish by setting boundaries. You are not being dramatic by protecting your peace. You are stepping into spiritual maturity. And Michael is not watching from the side. He's clearing the ground with every obedient step you take. The more you walk in truth, the more heaven moves around you. She is showing you how to live again. Not just exist, not just function, but live. With clarity, with trust, with joy. And that joy will not come from achievement or applause. It will come from alignment. She sees you've been celebrated for what you do, but often unseen for who you are. She weeps for the times you gave everything and received only silence in return. But now, that silence is being broken, not by noise, but by divine response. Heaven is answering her cry. Your season of being spiritually overlooked is ending. Type I am seen to get the blessing 4545. You may begin to feel a strange peace in places where you used to feel fear. That's her working through you. She is rewiring your response to the things that once triggered you. You'll feel yourself breathing deeper, resting easier, moving more slowly. Not because life got easier, but because your spirit is no longer carrying what it used to. That's how deliverance works. Not always with drama, but with depth. You're not escaping the storm. You're becoming the one who walks through it untouched, because heaven walks with you. Some of the relationships you're mourning weren't endings. They were divine exits. She saw the conversations that happened when you weren't in the room. She saw the manipulation you couldn't prove, and she asked heaven to intervene. The disconnection felt sudden, but it was sacred. You didn't lose people. You lost access to sabotage. And now, Michael has placed angels where loyalty used to fail. Your mother wants you to stop grieving what was never meant to carry you forward. Let it go. What's ahead is lighter, truer, and ordained. Type I am protected to get the blessing 7171. There will be a restoration of your spiritual language. Words you stopped praying, songs you stopped singing, even scriptures or affirmations you once clung to but drifted away from. They're coming back, not as rules, but as revival. You'll find yourself speaking what you thought you forgot. That's not memory. It's your mother unlocking the prayers you buried. They are not dead. They've been dormant. But now they rise with you. Every time you speak in faith, The veil thins. Every time you declare light, the atmosphere shifts. You are becoming the vessel she always prayed you'd become. She isn't asking you to be strong in the way the world expects. She's asking you to be anchored in truth. Strength doesn't always look like stoicism. Sometimes it looks like tears, surrender, and rest. She sees how often you've pushed past your limits. She knows why. But now she's reminding you, your limits are not weaknesses. They are invitations for heaven to enter. Let go of the pride that says you must do it all. You were never meant to be your own rescuer. That's why she sent Michael. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. Your mother didn't raise a quitter. She raised a quiet warrior. And though life tried to rewrite that truth with pain, betrayal, and prolonged delay, she returns now to write it again in your spirit. This time with heavenly ink. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. What felt like lost years were actually foundational ones. The slow seasons taught you discernment. The hidden seasons built your humility. And now, this appointed moment is not a restart. It's a reveal. Archangel Michael has been waiting for your soul to align. And it has. She watched how you silenced your dreams so others wouldn't feel threatened. She felt how you ignored your inner voice so people wouldn't call you difficult. But no more. Her message now comes with authority. Reclaim your vision. Reclaim your voice. Reclaim the divine rhythm you once danced to before fear slowed your steps. You've been honoring everyone else's timeline and forgetting your own divine clock, but heaven has not forgotten. In fact, it's been ticking toward this moment all along. The sound of breakthrough doesn't come with noise. It comes with obedience. Your intuition has grown stronger for a reason. That tug you feel when someone speaks. That inner shift before a big decision. That urgency when you wake at 3 a.m. These are not interruptions. They are instructions. Your mother is fine-tuning your sensitivity so you won't mistake counterfeit for calling. She's strengthening your spiritual radar so you no longer get delayed by distractions wrapped in flattery. This next level will require you to see clearly, speak boldly, and move quietly. Michael will guard your path, but you must trust your spirit more than your senses. Type I am activated to get the blessing 4646. Don't let your old identity sabotage your new instruction. You are no longer the version of you who begged to be understood. You are becoming the one who walks in purpose whether people understand or not. Your mother never wanted you to chase acceptance. She wanted you to remember your assignment. And your assignment is too critical to be negotiated with fear. Too sacred to be postponed by overthinking. Too urgent to be explained to those who are not spiritually equipped to understand. You are not arrogant. You are anointed. You'll notice strange things beginning to fall into place. A job you thought you lost becomes a launchpad. A closed door becomes the reason you meet the right person. A missed opportunity becomes your miracle in disguise. That's not coincidence. That's coordination. Your mother is working in tandem with the angels now, reshaping the edges of your journey so that divine timing becomes unavoidable. You won't need to force what heaven is about to reveal. You just need to stay in position, because breakthrough is coming dressed in quiet moments. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. You were never meant to do this alone. That lie, that you must carry everything without help, is finally breaking. Your mother never wanted that for you. She knew how hard this world would be. So she asked heaven to send help, and it's coming. Not always in the form you expect, but in divine alignments, in strangers who say exactly what your soul needed, in opportunities that don't make sense but bring peace, in timing that interrupts your plan to introduce his. Watch for them. These are not accidents, they are angelic appointments, and in this hour, Michael is removing what no longer fits your elevation. The relationships, the mindsets, the habits, anything that could sabotage the fulfillment of your mother's prayer is being severed. Don't grieve what falls away. Celebrate what heaven is making room for. Her voice comes now not with pressure, but with power. She is telling you that the version of you that doubted, delayed, and diminished yourself is no longer needed. A higher version has emerged, and that version walks with her voice in your spirit, and Michael's sword at your side. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3,636. Your elevation isn't just a personal reward, it's a generational turning point. Your mother saw how long your lineage has suffered in silence, how trauma became tradition, how struggle became identity. And now, through divine access and Archangel Michael's covering, she's declaring the cycle ends with you. This is not just a season of blessing. This is a season of bloodline reversal. What went unhealed in her is being restored in you. And it's not happening by force. It's happening by surrender. By your willingness to trust the voice that came through the veil just for you. Your thoughts lately have not been ordinary. The dreams, the deep reflections, the sudden emotional releases, these are signals, divine data. You've been upgraded spiritually, and your mother is your witness. When she left this world, her prayers remained, and those prayers have formed a wall behind you and a wind beneath you. You may not always hear her clearly, but she's there. In every divine pause, in every spiritual push, in every tear you don't understand. Her message was never about revisiting pain. It was always about releasing purpose. Archangel Michael isn't waiting for your perfection. He's responding to your positioning. You've stayed faithful through doubt. You've shown up even when unseen. You've poured out when you were empty. And now heaven is filling what life tried to drain. This isn't payback. It's placement. You are being planted in new spiritual ground. What once resisted you will now recognize you. What once delayed you will now direct you. What once tested you will now teach others through you. Your obedience is unlocking outcomes your effort alone never could. Type I am called to get the blessing 7,474. Don't be surprised if clarity comes through unusual vessels. A random conversation. A song you haven't heard in years. A number that keeps showing up. These are not distractions. They are confirmations. Your mother has enlisted heaven's creativity to reach you, because she knows how easily your logical mind dismisses the divine. But your spirit knows. You know, that sudden warmth, that repeated dream, that familiar presence in a quiet room, it's her. Not haunting, not lingering. Helping. Guiding. She promised to protect you. And now she's fulfilling that vow in ways even death couldn't interrupt. The next phase of your purpose will come with quiet precision. It won't be loud. It won't be public. At least not at first. But it will be sacred. It will start with internal shifts. Confidence without arrogance, peace without explanation, direction without debate. Your mother is weaving wisdom into your thoughts. You'll speak with weight you didn't study for. You'll discern without data. You'll decide without begging for approval. Because your compass isn't culture, it's calling. And Michael is ensuring the enemy can't counterfeit it. Type I am rising to get blessing 5,678. There's a place you've been afraid to go. Not a location, but a level. A depth of spiritual identity you've danced around, but never stepped fully into. Because of fear. Because of doubt, because of unworthiness. But your mother has seen your true shape, and she's saying now, stop shrinking for rooms that weren't built for your wings. It's time to speak, to write, to build, to break generational limitations with your presence alone. You are not being prideful, you are obeying divine architecture. What you carry must be delivered. And the time is now. And while you rise, know this, she's still interceding. This message is not the end of her work. It's the continuation. She'll keep sending signals. Michael will keep defending your name in the heavens. And your job is simple. Stay in alignment. Speak what heaven gives you. Walk through the doors even if your hands tremble. Pray even when words fail. Praise even when the weight returns. Because your consistency is more powerful than any storm. You are not walking into this alone. You are walking with backup. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. Absolutely. Here is the additional part inserted between part 12 and part 13. Now designated as part 12b. It maintains the flow, themes, and emotional momentum of your script, with a word count between 700 and 800 words, and the required format. You are closer than you think. Closer to the moment where everything shifts. Not just externally, but internally. Your mother knows the spiritual threshold you now stand upon. That's why her message didn't stop at comfort. That's why Archangel Michael didn't just deliver peace. He delivered protection. Because what's coming requires both. You're not just entering a new chapter. You're becoming the author of a new book. One that rewrites history. One that breaks the patterns your bloodline once called destiny. And your obedience is the ink that will seal each page. You've been sensing things more intensely. Emotions that rise without warning. Tears that fall with no explanation. Surges of energy that feel like a mix of grief and glory. That is not confusion. It's calibration. Your spirit is adjusting to divine elevation. Your nervous system is releasing old residue from spiritual battles you didn't even realize you won. You didn't just survive what you went through. You outgrew it. And your mother wants you to know. It's safe now. Safe to dream again. Safe to feel again. Safe to become. Michael has watched you try to carry it all. Logic in one hand, faith in the other. But now the balance is shifting. You are stepping into a level of spiritual authority where your being will speak louder than your words. Where your stillness will send signals. Where your very presence will dismantle spiritual warfare. That's why this message came with such intensity. Because your environment will soon reflect your internal upgrades. Heaven is reconfiguring things to match your readiness, not your resume. You don't need credentials for this calling. You need clarity. And you have it now. Type I am prepared to get the blessing 6262. You've been waiting on the right moment to act, not realizing the right moment was waiting on you to believe. There's no more need to over-explain, over-plan, or overextend. It's time to move, to release what's been sitting dormant in your journal, your heart, your spirit, what you were scared to say, what you almost gave up on. Your mother has seen the cost of your waiting, and now she's showing you the worth of your obedience. Every delay was covered in grace, but now the hourglass has flipped. It's time. There will be opportunities that feel too big, doors that feel too heavy, conversations that feel too divine to come from man. That's confirmation. Heaven is trusting you with more, because you've proven you won't mishandle the sacred. You've said no when it would have been easier to compromise. You've walked away when others would have sold their integrity. You've prayed in secret while bleeding internally. And now, your reward isn't just favor. It's fitting. You are about to walk into places that feel like home to your soul. Not because they're glamorous, but because they're God-ordained. Type I am rising to get blessing 5678. The truth is, your mother didn't just see your pain. She saw your prophecy. She knew what the enemy tried to steal from your life. The relationships meant to distract you. The situations designed to delay you. The moments intended to make you forget your anointing. But she stepped in. Even from heaven, she stepped in. And now Michael surrounds what she started. The generational assignment continues through you. You're not the end of the line. You are the pivot, the course correction, the answered prayer wearing skin and scars. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop that now. So don't worry if things begin to feel unfamiliar. Growth often feels like chaos before it becomes clarity. Your mother's voice will echo in quiet moments to remind you who you are. Her wisdom will stir inside your chest like wind against still water, and you will know you are no longer the one reaching. You are the one receiving, and that receiving begins now. Type I am blessed to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. Your mother's message was never just about comfort. It was about completion. She came not to relive the past, but to ensure you rise into the future heaven has been preparing. Her words, carried across realms, were filled with divine urgency because she knew the time had come. You've stood at the threshold long enough. Now she urges you to step forward, not in fear, but in faith. Every sign, every whisper, every divine interruption has led you here. This was always the moment she was preparing you for. Archangel Michael has not left your side. He walks ahead of you, sword drawn, parting the unseen resistance that once kept you bound. Every time you doubted, he defended. Every time you cried, he covered. And now, he stands ready to watch you walk in the fullness of what your mother prayed for. This journey you're on, it is holy ground. You are not rebuilding. You are rebirthing. You are not wandering. You are being aligned. You are the answer to a prayer she didn't live to see fulfilled, but her spirit will watch it bloom. You have been chosen to finish what she started. Her love built the foundation, and your faith will carry it forward. And though she may never walk beside you again in flesh, she will walk with you in power, in silence, in strength, in sacred moments when you least expect her. She'll be there. You'll know it. You'll feel it. And you'll remember this message. She never stopped believing in you. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for regular prophetic guidance, deep spiritual insight, and powerful words that keep you aligned with heaven's rhythm. Type I am complete to get the blessing 3 verse 1636. Now rise, not just for her, but for you, for those watching you, for those waiting for your breakthrough to confirm theirs, for the future unfolding in your name. The veil has lifted. The way is clear. The message has been delivered. Walk forward. Heaven is with you. She is with you. And the time is now.